To save the girl I love most, I chose to betray her when she loved me most. Everyone cursed me as a heartless scumbag, but I remained unmoved, abandoning her. I chose to become a human test subject. 3 years later, my career as a test subject ended. The first thing I did wasn't to beg for her forgiveness, but to go to a funeral service center because after 3 years of drug trials, my internal organs have been severely depleted. I now have only 1 month left to live. I don't want her, after finding out the truth about the betrayal I deliberately staged back then, to live the rest of her life in regret and self-blame, so I must take this secret and leave her forever. Mr. Lin, the funeral package you pre-ordered costs a total of 86,000 yuan. I looked at the bank card in my hand. I only have 50,000 yuan. I never thought that now. Even choosing a decent way to die is a luxury for me. I only have 50,000 yuan for now. Can I pay the rest in a few days? Mr. Lin, you just need to pay the remaining amount within a month. Earning 36,000 yuan in a month is a very difficult task, but there might be a way to try. That night, I went to the entrance of Jing City's biggest jewelry gala because I didn't have an invitation. I was stopped by security at the door. I waited at the door for 3 whole hours before the people inside started to leave. Liu Ruyan, on the arm of Gu Yanchen, walked out gracefully. The young master beside them said flatteringly, "Yanchen, Xiao Liu is incredibly good to you." "An 80 million yuan watch? She bought it without batting an eye?" Ruyan said. "Marriage is a once-in-a-lifetime event, so she has to give me the best of everything." Wahahaha. Wow, that's a promise to never divorce you. Ha ha ha. Seeing the two of them about to get into a black stretch Lincoln, I called out to Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan heard my voice and turned around. The moment she saw me, various emotions flashed in her eyes, finally settling into a deep, bone-chilling hatred. I walked up to her and took off the seashell bracelet from my wrist. "Liu Ruyan, I want to trade this bracelet for 36,000 yuan from you." Now, this bracelet was from when we first started dating. When we went to the beach, Liu Ruyan picked the shells and made it for me herself. Lin Bei, believe me. One day, you can use this to trade with me, for the most precious thing in the world. Liu Ruyan snatched the bracelet from my hand. Her gaze looked like she wanted to eat me alive. "Lin Bei, it's been 3 years. You came looking for me just to ask for money? If not, then forget it. I wasn't expecting anything anyway. I just wanted to see her one more time before I die and commit her face to memory." After saying that, I reached out to take back the seashell bracelet, but Liu Ruyan threw it straight to the ground. "Is this the scumbag who abandoned Xiao Liu back then?" "That's right. I heard Xiao Liu was still starting her business at the time and suddenly had a heart failure. She needed a heart transplant to live. When he found out, he immediately abandoned Xiao Liu and latched onto a rich young lady, becoming a kept man and going abroad. He must be regretting it to his core now, to shamelessly show up like this. Truly shameless. If I were Xiao Liu, I'd definitely torture him to death. Yeah, this punk is way too arrogant." Of course. What they said was the truth, but no one knew the hidden truth behind it. Back then, Liu Ruyan had heart failure and urgently needed a transplant. I went through countless hardships and finally found a suitable heart for Liu Ruyan. The donor was in a vegetative state. His father was a drug research fanatic. His only condition for donating his son's heart was for me to voluntarily become a test subject for a new drug he was researching. I knew Liu Ruyan would never agree to let me be a test subject, so I found someone to help me. Stage an affair to abandon her. A sharp pain shot through my chest. My face turned pale. I gritted my teeth to keep from groaning. Then I squatted down, picking up piece by piece the shattered seashell bracelet, and put it in my pocket, preparing to leave. Just then, a wealthy madam, dressed luxuriously, blocked my way. She held a stack of money in her hand. "I heard back then you were willing to sleep with someone for 10,000 yuan. Here's 10,000 now. Strip for everyone to see just how shameless your body is." Seeing that I wasn't moving, someone else took another 10,000 yuan and threw it at me. "If you think it's not enough money, you'll add another 10,000. Strip for me." My face burned. Shame surged through me. I wanted to leave but was surrounded by the crowd. "Ruyan, let's go. This kind of man isn't worth a second glance from you." Liu Ruyan and Gu Yanchen were about to get in the car when someone suddenly tore my clothes. A shameless bastard. What's with the pretense of being noble? Strip him naked for everyone to see. I squatted on the ground, hugging myself tightly, but my clothes were torn apart, revealing large patches of skin. My vision started to blur. "All of you, get lost!" An angry shout from Liu Ruyan dispersed the crowd. Immediately after, a coat, still carrying some warmth, was draped over me. "Lin Bei, where's Bai Ningbing? Back then, you abandoned me to go abroad with her. Is this the kind of life she lets you live? She got tired of me and dumped me. But I was only with her for her money in the first place. So it's not a loss for me. 10,000 for one night. Would CEO Liu like to try? So cheap? Are you that desperate for money?" She immediately had her assistant bring 100,000 yuan and threw it at me. The sharp edge cut my cheek. "There should be a discount for a whole month, right? From today on, you are my servant. I will play with you slowly this month." After tossing out those words, Liu Ruyan got in the car with Gu Yanchen and left. I slowly picked up the 100,000 yuan from the ground, mocking myself. My luck isn't too bad. I've earned enough money for my grave in just one day. Afterwards, I took the money and returned to the funeral center. After paying, I took a taxi to the address Liu Ruyan had left. As soon as I arrived at Spring Mountain Lake District, a butler handed me a servant's uniform. "Change into it quickly," Xiao Liu has said. You are to stand guard at her bedroom door tonight. After changing, I went to the second floor bedroom door. Before I even got close, I could hear moans coming from inside. My entire body froze. Those moans turned into invisible blades, stabbing my heart over and over again. I panicked and wanted to run, but the door suddenly opened. Liu Ruyan was in her nightgown, her bare neck covered in ambiguous hickeys. Her sharp gaze bore into me, listening to others make love outside the door. How does it feel? I know Liu Ruyan is doing this to get revenge for my affair back then, but I can't let any cracks show. Mr. Gu sounded a bit forced. Since Xiao Liu has spent so much money, I'm more than willing to teach him a thing or two myself. Truly shameless. As long as there's money, you'll do anything, won't you? Of course. Who would make things difficult for money? A man like you, I find you filthy. But I think an animal probably wouldn't find you filthy. I hadn't yet understood the meaning behind Liu Ruyan's words. When I heard Liu Ruyan give a cold command, drag him to the backyard and lock him in with Cyber. Immediately, 2 servants came and dragged me to the backyard. When I got to the backyard, I realized Cyber was a fierce Tibetan Mastiff. Looking at its huge fangs, I couldn't help but tremble all over. I was bitten by a dog at the orphanage as a child, so I've always had a deep fear of dogs. No, I'm not going in. Let me go. I'm begging you, please let me go. Lin Bei, didn't you say you'd do anything for money? Why are you scared now? I can do anything for money, but for something this perverse, you have to add more. The money you gave isn't enough yet. It'll add 100,000. Lock this man in for me. The servants forcefully pushed me into the cage and locked it. When Gu Yanqin finished changing and came over, he saw the bodyguards carrying me, while Liu Ruyan ran madly beside them, heading out, not even noticing she had knocked him to the ground. Gu Yanqin's eyes stared fiercely at me, with a flash of jealousy and malice in them. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself lying on a soft bed. The wound on my calf had been bandaged. Gu Yanqin was standing by my bed. Seeing that I was awake, he questioned me in a sharp voice. Lin Bei, why did you come back? Back then, you abandoned Rian when she had heart failure, leaving her alone in the bridal suite. Do you know she almost died? When I got there, she was covered in the blood she had vomited, and she was still calling your name. It was her good fortune. As soon as I took her to the hospital, a doctor came to inform us they had found a matching heart for her, but the first thing she did after being discharged was to look for you. She said she was cured, so you wouldn't despise her anymore. She would work hard to give you the best life. And you? You abandoned her and went off to enjoy yourself. Do you know how desperately Ruyan cried at the airport back then? Tears streamed from the corners of my eyes. For the past 3 years, my pain has been no less than Liu Ruyan's. I was locked in a lab, unable to see the sun or go outside. Every day there was only endless medicine to take and unending drug experiments to endure. I was by Ruyan's side for 3 years before I finally entered her heart. Now we are finally about to get married. Yet you came to bother Ruyan for money. I wanted to say it wasn't for money, but I was about to die, so I wanted to see Liu Ruyan one last time. But in the end, I couldn't say a word. After he finished, he pulled me out of bed and then smashed his own head against the wall. Fresh blood flowed from his forehead. Liu Ruyan heard the noise and rushed into the room, hurriedly helping Gu Yanqin up, and asked anxiously, Yanqin, are you okay? Ruyan? It was Lin Bei who pushed me. I was stunned on the spot. I never expected Gu Yanqin would use this method to frame me. Just as I was about to explain, Liu Ruyan kicked me. If anything happens to Yanqin, it'll make you pay with your life. After saying that, she carried Gu Yanqin and rushed to the hospital. I don't know how long it was before the butler burst into the room with men and escorted me to the hospital, as if I were an unforgivable criminal. In the hospital, Gu Yanqin's head was wrapped in gauze. He was lying pale-faced on the hospital bed. Liu Ruyan's eyes were filled with heartache, but the moment she saw me, it turned into bone-deep hatred. Kneel and apologize to Yanqin. I was forced to my knees on the ground, unable to move. At this point, I had given up struggling and asked with lifeless eyes, if I apologize, will you let me go? And let me leave? I'm really tired. My body and spirit are in agony. I just want to find a quiet place now and silently wait for my end. Hearing the words, let me leave, Liu Ruyan's heart clenched involuntarily. She picked up the glass of water from the bedside table and splashed it in my face. You have no right to bargain with me, Lin Bei. You owe me. You can't repay it in this lifetime, Xiao Liu. You're really making it impossible for people to play along. It's normal for couples to fall in love and break up. How did it turn into me owing you? You have no heart at all. Hold him down. Make him kowtow and apologize to Yanqin immediately. Someone pushed my head down, smashing it against the hard floor, once, twice, 3 times, until my forehead was swollen and red and oozing blood. They still didn't stop. In the end, it was Gu Yanqin who spoke up. Ruyan, I'm fine now. Let him go, Yanqin. He is malicious. How dare he lay a hand on you? You don't need to pity him. I'm not pitying him. I want you to let yourself go, Ruyan. It's been 3 years. You should let him go, Yanqin. Don't overthink it. I stopped loving him long ago. Now I just want to take revenge on this heartless man. Is that really so? Of course, I promise you, before our wedding, I'll make him disappear completely from our world. Only then did Gu Yanqin reluctantly nod. Liu Ruyan turned to look at my bleeding head and ordered, find a doctor to bandage him. Dr. Liu was pulled over, and seeing me on the floor, he was very surprised. Mr. Lin, why is it you? You know him? My heart skipped a beat. Dr. Liu was the one who knew the truth about the heart transplant back then. He had advised me back then. Zhao Wuji is a pharmaceutical madman. He even turned his own son into a vegetable. If you become a test subject in his lab, it's no different from trading your life. But at that time, I was determined. Even if it meant trading my life, I had to save Liu Ruyan. Once Liu Ruyan asked for details, the events of that year could no longer be hidden, so I spoke up first. Back then, Ms. Bai Ningbing and I were playing too rough and accidentally ended up in the hospital in the middle of the night. It was Dr. Liu who handled the emergency case. Lin Bei, you truly are shameless. Thoroughly disinfect this hospital room and the person in it from me. After giving the order, she took Gu Yanchen out. I tugged on Dr. Liu's sleeve, pleading, Dr. Liu, please don't tell Liu Ruyan the truth about what happened back then. You, to save her, were ravaged in a lab for 3 years, are now on the verge of death, and are still misunderstood by her. Is it really worth it for you? It's worth it. Very quickly, a group of nurses in protective gear entered with disinfectant and sprayed a lot of it all over me and the room. I choked on the fumes until my eyes watered. Dr. Liu sighed. After handing me a tissue, he helped me disinfect and bandage the wound on my forehead. In the following days, Liu Ruyan didn't do any more strange things to me. She truly just treated me as a servant to torture. She made me bring a basin of water to wash her feet, then kicked the basin over and made me kneel on the floor to wipe it clean. The meal I worked hard to cook was dumped for the dog by Liu Ruyan. Right in front of me, someone as filthy as you. The food you make is only fit for an animal to eat. She took Gu Yanchen shopping at luxury stores, spending tens of millions to buy out all the watches in a designer shop, and made me walk each watch back to the villa, until I was running back and forth day and night, and collapsed from exhaustion on the road. When I woke up in the hospital again, Dr. Liu told me, because I had overexerted my body these past few days, my body could no longer take it. At most, I only had 1 week left to live. When I heard these words, I only felt relieved. I finally no longer have to drag this half-dead body around, living with suppressed longing for Liu Ruyan. It's just that before I die, I still have one more thing to do. Just then, Liu Ruyan's call came. Lin Bei, you just fainted from anemia. How long are you planning to laze around in the hospital? Get to the Romanesque bridal shop for me now. To help Yanchen change, I got out of bed and went to the bridal shop, because my complexion was terrifyingly pale. I even specially asked a nurse to help me apply some light makeup to cover it up. And when I arrived at the bridal shop, Liu Ruyan and Gu Yanchen had already changed into their wedding gown and suit, and were walking out of the fitting room. The entire wedding dress was predominantly light purple, perfectly accentuating Liu Ruyan's beautiful figure. The shop assistant beside them said with admiration, "This wedding dress is truly beautiful. I heard Xiao Liu designed it herself." That's right. I heard the lavender on the dress was replicated, one from Provence. I stood frozen on the spot. The corners of my eyes couldn't help but get teary. I had designed this wedding dress for Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan really had it made, but the person she wanted to marry while wearing it was no longer me. Liu Ruyan attentively adjusted Gu Yanchen's hair, turned around, and when her eyes met mine, the warmth vanished. Such a rosy complexion. And you say it's anemia, as expected. You colluded with the doctor to make excuses. You saw right through me. I was planning to use this chance to rest a few more days. Lin Bei, I spent 100,000 yuan to hire you for a month, not for you to come here and enjoy yourself. Go get Yanchen's shoes. I walked over and took the pointed leather shoes from the shelf, placing them by Gu Yanchen's feet. Gu Yanchen lifted his foot to put them on and stomped the sole of the shoe hard on the back of my hand. I immediately let out a pained scream. My hand. Sorry, my eyes were dazzled. I couldn't see clearly at my feet. He's just a servant. What's done is done. There's no need for you to apologize. Liu Ruyan walked over and took Gu Yanchen's arm. Gu Yanchen looked at Liu Ruyan, his eyes filled with unconcealed love. Yan Yun was also very perceptive, and came to help Liu Ruyan adjust the hem of her dress while I was pushed aside by them. Afterwards, I left the room with a bleak expression, but I hadn't taken more than a few steps when my hand was pulled back from behind. Liu Ruyan dragged me into a nearby lounge, pressing close, blocking my way. Lin Bei, if you hadn't cheated back then everything today would have been yours. You must regret it so much now, right? Regret? If I hadn't agreed to be a test subject, I wouldn't have gone through those 3 dark years, and I wouldn't have ended up on the verge of death. But looking at Liu Ruyan, alive and well before me, I feel it was all worth it. No, I don't regret it. Why did you abandon me for money back then? Now that I have money and power, why don't you regret it? There is no why. I have never regretted the things I've done. There's 64,000 left in here. Take it back. From now on, I am no longer your servant, Liu Ruyan. Our relationship is over. Seeing that Liu Ruyan said nothing, I stuffed the card into her hand and turned to leave. I was afraid if I stayed any longer, I wouldn't be able to suppress the feelings in my heart anymore. But just as my hand grasped the doorknob, Liu Ruyan rushed from behind and wrapped her arms around my waist, pressing me against the wall. Lin Bei, do you think I'm still the naive Liu Ruyan from 3 years ago? You think you can just leave whenever you want? You want to abandon me just like that? In your dreams. Just then, the door to the room was suddenly pushed open. Gu Yanchen stood at the door in a groom's suit. His eyes widened, staring at the two of us in the room in disbelief. My lost rationality returned. Liu Ruyan, let go of me. I looked at Gu Yanchen with guilt in my eyes. Yanchen, Gu Yanchen took a few steps back, turned around and ran out, and Liu Ruyan immediately chased after him. At that moment, I felt as if all my strength had been drained, and I slid down the wall to the floor. I raised my hands to cover my face, but tears still flowed through my fingers. I could feel that Liu Ruyan still loved me, but I couldn't reciprocate. I'm about to die. Oh, heavens. Why must you torment me and Liu Ruyan like this? Meanwhile, just as Gu Yanchen ran out of the shop, a car came speeding towards him. With quick reflexes, Liu Ruyan pulled him back. Why did you save me? You should have let me die. That way you could be with Lin Bei without any guilt. Yanchen, listen to me. I won't listen. Yanchen, I really was planning to marry you. But from the moment Lin Bei appeared before me, my heart has been out of my control. I hate him. But I love him even more. If I marry you now, it would be very unfair to you. Ruyan, I don't need fairness. I just want to be with you. Lin Bei is completely unworthy of your love. At your most helpless moment, when you needed him most, he abandoned you. I was the one who was always by your side. Ruyan, why can't you look at me just a little more? I've loved you for 5 years, but I've loved Lin Bei for 18 years. From the first time I met him at the orphanage when I was 7, he gave me a piece of candy while I was crying secretly in the middle of the night. One piece of candy. Ever since then, his image has been etched in my heart. Even though he abandoned me, I have never forgotten him, Yanchen. I'm sorry, it's me who is not worthy of you. Ruyan, snap out of it. Lin Bei doesn't love you at all. He's only after your money. Even if he is after my money, he'll accept it. Then Liu Ruyan brought the distraught Gu Yanchen back to the bridal shop. Just as she was about to confess to me the feelings in her heart, I spoke first. Xiao Liu, before, Bai Ningbing and I had a fight. That's why I came back to you. Just now, Bai Ningbing called to make up with me. She even booked me a plane ticket back to America. I've decided to go back. I won't be attending your wedding with Mr. Gu. Let me just wish you two an early birth of a noble son and a long and happy life together. Lin Bei, all this time, in your heart, what exactly am I? Tio Liu, must you make me say it so clearly? You're a spare tire, of course. Before, when Bai Ningbing and I broke up, I wanted to come back and latch onto a big tree like you. Now that Bai Ningbing has come back to make up with me, I naturally have to choose the one I like. Actually, Xiao Liu isn't bad. It's just too conservative. I still prefer someone like Bai Ningbing. Her type is the only one who can satisfy me. Lin Bei, you are so shameless. That's right. I am shameless. Xiao Liu should have known this 3 years ago. After saying that, I lifted my foot to leave, but Liu Ruyan raised her hand to block my path. Lin Bei, give me back the bracelet. From now on, I hope to never see you again. I stopped in my tracks and took off the bracelet that I had stepped on and then repaired. Liu Ruyan took the bracelet and once again mercilessly crushed the shell, leaving no possibility of repair. I could hear the sound of my own heart shattering. Can I go now? I also have something to return to you. After you receive it, from then on, whether you live or die, will have nothing to do with me. This is exactly what I've been waiting to hear. Now I only hope that after I die, Liu Ruyan can still be healthy, happy, and live a peaceful, happy life. Yanchen, wait for me here for a moment. I'll be back soon. After I get back, my heart will only have you, and I will only love you. Okay, I'll wait for you. After that, Liu Ruyan drove me to the largest candy store in Jing City. Bring me all the candy in this store. Mom, are you sure you mean all of it? Yes, all of it. Soon, bag after bag of candy from the stockroom was brought out before the two of them. Lin Bei, you once gave me a piece of candy, and it took my love away. Now I'm returning it to you 1,000 times over to redeem my love. All right, Liu Ruyan. From now on, we don't owe each other anything. That's right, we owe each other nothing. Liu Ruyan didn't give me another glance and decisively turned and left. Not until her back completely disappeared into the crowd did I look away. I unwrapped the candy on the ground, stuffing one piece after another into my mouth until I was so full that I threw up. I squatted on the ground and wailed, releasing all the resentment, pain, and suppressed love I had for Liu Ruyan through my cries. Finally, I asked the staff to pack up all this candy to give to the children at the Jing City orphanage. The next day, I bought a plane ticket and went to the place where I had prearranged my funeral. The location was Provence. I had arranged for cremation so that after my death, my ashes would be scattered in the lavender fields of Provence. And just as I was about to board the plane, a news report about a car accident was playing on the big screen. I immediately recognized the car, which was smashed beyond recognition, as Liu Ruyan's. My mind instantly went blank, and then I rushed to the hospital. On the way, I kept calling Liu Ruyan's phone, but no one ever answered. I silently prayed to the heavens, asking for Liu Ruyan to be safe and sound. I was willing to trade everything I had for it. And when I arrived at the hospital, Dr. Liu was speaking to Gu Yanchen with a grim expression. After emergency treatment, the patient is out of critical danger. But her eyes suffered an impact, and her corneas are severely damaged. She will be blind when she wakes up. Doctor, you must cure her. Her eyes are very important to her. She can't be blind. To cure her, a cornea transplant is required. But right now, the hospital has no cornea donors. I'll donate. Me. I am willing to donate my corneas. Please perform the surgery immediately. Mr. Lin, corneas cannot be donated by a living person. You know that. I don't have much longer to live. If I can't let her see the light again, even if you're about to die, the hospital has no precedent of taking corneas from a living person. This is not